Air signs, this week it seems you are or were in a position of confusion, having a lot of different thoughts in your mind, trying to figure out a best direction, or having a lot of choices to make and not really sure, a lot of options there on the table and not really sure what to do. You seem quite plagued by this, and I don't know whether this is the past or whether this is still lingering. It may be to do with a romantic disappointment or an apology that was not an apology. Someone didn't reach out the way you thought they might with some kind of loving statement or gesture. And you have maybe had a lot of fears here about being abandoned and left out in the snow, and you've been hoping for a situation that was going to bring you comfort. And that seems to be what this confusion is about. What shall I do here? What is the right thing to do? Now, it looks as though there is something untrustworthy just at the moment around you or in your life or in your own opinions. And that is, I think, adding to your sense of confusion here about what do I do? Because this isn't an untrustworthy person. It is just something that isn't quite right at the moment. And you got the cards, you know what to do, and a fair deal. That is all you're asking. So I think you probably understand what the situation is. It seems like something you are agonizing over, and it does seem to strike at the heart of both your security and emotions. Coming up, it looks like there will be some way you can put this burden down. There will be a moment where either someone steps in to help you, or you just think, I can't carry this on my own anymore, so I'm going to stop. Because you got the hanged one, which is really about seeing things from a different perspective, turning your life upside down in a way. It's a very strange energy on this card, because sometimes it indicates being stuck. So that could be the point for some of you, that you just feel stuck in this indecision. And for others of you, it's like seeing things from a completely different perspective of what would my life be if I turned it upside down. Now, there seems to be an energy here of a water sign masculine, and this could just be you in your emotional state, because water sign is all about emotions. So either you are feeling upside down emotionally, or there is a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in your midst who is really in a difficult spot, or they're not cheerful and happy and full of, their normal joie de vivre. Or it could be somebody emotionally manipulative. It runs the whole kind of range of what this could mean, either internally for you or externally with somebody else. And it doesn't have to be masculine, doesn't have to be water signs. It is just the realm of emotions and somebody acting very emotionally. In fact, they may be acting in quite a childish manner, or you may be having a dispute relating to children, or maybe this is something stemming from your childhood as well. There seems to be a flashpoint coming up with the kerosene, and maybe that is what has you nervous. You kind of know that things have to change, and you're worried that mentioning it is going to trigger some big reaction, maybe. With the kerosene, like pouring kerosene onto a fire that's just kind of, it's a small, smoldering fire, but you know that to address what you want to address, and regain some fairness in this situation, get a fair deal. There are two messages here that you've got to do something here, and you will know what to do. The crystal ball says the same thing. You will intuitively know the best course of action here, because it does seem like you are just wanting to redress an imbalance where one person is beleaguered and under strain, and the other person isn't seeming to carry their weight. So let's see what else the universe wants you to know about this. Okay, so energy to lean away from, and you probably already know this, is to be aggressively pushing your case and very, very defensive. They're the two kind of approaches that will not get you anywhere. I know I'm talking to Librans as well as Gemini and Aquarius. All of you are very good at being detached and not getting emotionally kind of sucked into anger and violence and, irrationality, although we can all go that way, of course, but you are more cerebral, logical, and a little bit more able to detach. And that is a really good strategy to take here. So lean away from standing your ground, having excessive boundaries, sticking by your own position and not taking anybody else into account. Again, air signs, especially Libra, love to balance things out. Or Gemini is very curious about the other person, and Aquarius is very fair-minded as well and sort of likes to have the detached view of a whole situation. So I don't think you'll have too many problems. The energy to lean towards is your heart space, the King of Cups. Now that could be water sign energy. Interestingly, the King of Cups came out in reverse, and I'm drawn back to this card, untrustworthy, at least for now, because you know this person, you can see them at the moment, not playing along, not being their best self emotionally. Lean towards remembering, if it is a person, that they can be the King of Cups in the upright. They're not always in the reverse. And this is true whether this is internal for you, your emotional state. Lean towards gaining emotional equilibrium and sitting back on your emotional throne, feeling generous of spirit, loving and compassionate, rather than manipulative and judgmental. So that is another way these two cards could be speaking to each other and to you, that keep this vision of, this beautiful heart energy, and just know that if somebody isn't acting as their best self, it could just be temporary. And sometimes when you see people with love in your eyes, that helps them see themselves with love in their eyes, and it's profoundly affecting to other people. So try and move towards a King of Cups energy, devoted, emotionally mature and balanced, intuitive, compassionate, supportive, empath. So what else can I bring out here for you about this, this big dilemma that you have? These two came out in another reading just before. Mind blowing. It is very much a theme, I guess, of the times. Surrender. Don't hold your position or stand your ground or get stuck on one point that is spinning you out. You've got a lot of thoughts here, a lot of different emotions stirring you up. You seem to want a lot of different things, and maybe you're really fixed on one thing. You might be the untrustworthy person in this situation. Your thoughts and your attitudes, your emotional fixedness might not be serving you well. This is about surrendering, especially your fears. This is illusions of the shark that swims around in your brain that you're terrified of. Surrender to receive. Surrender your negative thoughts, your fears, and your sort of defensiveness. And let go of the fears here. That is your key to success. Now, there is this beautiful card of harvest time. Count your blessings is one of the energies around this, which is all about opening your heart, looking at what you do have, not where the grass might be greener on, over the other side of the fence. This is really being very appreciative for all that you do have. Harvest time is all about nurturing, but it's also about stability, because when you've got a good harvest, you've got a great foundation to help you relax. So that is one energy that's coming through, is to focus on all that you do have. Now, this is very interesting. There seems to be a division between you and someone else, and it's not to say you are in separation, although you may be, but there might be a gap, a divide between you. And if that is the case, then your counterpart is feeling that distance that has evolved between you. And it really is up to someone here to take a leap of faith. And to me, with all this guidance to get into King of Cups energy, it is extending the hand of compassion. It is getting emotional. It is really getting back into an emotional good footing. Watch the next part of this reading. I think you'll enjoy it. It speaks directly to this kind of heart space energy. Now let's find out the topic for all signs for this week. Well, these three cards say it all, really. This is about self-love and self-acceptance, a healed heart chakra, and it feels safe to love. I trust myself, which is all about having great boundaries. Wow, for those three cards to come out of that big mixed deck, it is a very powerful message this week. So let's see what the universe wants to tell you about this. It feels as though we are all on the doorstep of fresh energy. We've done a lot of work on ourselves, on our field, and on trusting and opening up. And we are now at this place of sitting pretty in this very verdant garden that is abundant. This is actually the card of being happily single, but it doesn't mean you have to be single. This is the card of just having everything you need. So you've done the hard work and now the results come rolling in pretty easily. That's what the message seems to be saying. Is there anything in particular that wants to come through with this lovely sentiment for everyone this week? Yes, you're soon going to really see proof of this. There's some kind of change that is ushering in a new chapter of your life. This is where I like to say you're turning from black and white into color. So things are going to really improve for you, especially with self-love. And if you're looking for romantic attachment, obviously that can only benefit you as well. But this is, well, on the very basic level, you have learned to trust your judgment. You've learned discernment, and that it also comes with having establishing good boundaries, because you know what makes you happy, you know what you deserve. And then, you know, honoring those boundaries as well. So there is some news or some shift that is going to change everything for you and just move you into this new chapter. So this may have been you in the past, old stagnant energy that was past its use-by date, and you have now struck the mother lode. You have done the hard work, and this is a time of great love and affection. And as I say, it doesn't have to be with someone else, but it can be. So it can be passion and a passionate, faithful relationship and deep, deep love. Or this is self-love. You really are striking the jackpot with this. This is to do with mothering yourself, healing mother wounds perhaps, or just being really compassionate, not only to yourself, but also to other people. That's what happens when you open your heart. You can hold a lot of space for people who may be not acting in integrity themselves because of their wounds. It's about actually stepping away from judgment, harsh judgment of yourself and others, and just sort of going with the flow a bit more and going, well, shit happens. Or, you know, you understand that someone might be in pain, and I'm getting to that reminder that everybody acts in a way that is completely logical and reasonable to them. So they have their own truth going on, and, you know, that helps when you can be compassionate for yourself and others. I'll stop rambling. But whatever your vision is of happiness, hold fast to that. Don't be deterred. There are rewards coming in. Look at this. There is victory coming in. After a very long, this binoculars here is sort of long range. You've done a lot of work to get to where you are, and the rewards are all over the spread about to come in. So yeah, you have pat yourselves on the back because you've done such a great job. So I hope that helps you, my darlings. You have healed your heart chakra. It feels safe to love because you now trust yourself and you accept yourself. You have compassion for yourself, and that is the secret sauce. So if you'd like your own personal reading on this topic or any other, go to my website, abundancelovejoy.com. I'd love to do a reading for you. But meanwhile, this is Sarah wishing you much abundance, love and joy for the week ahead and beyond.